Really?
Okay, we're on. All right, Andy, you're up.
Oh, I'm the host again. I'm the
Yes.
chair again?
Yes.
Oh, I did not realize that. Okay, I'm sorry about that. We started soon. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the let's see, March 2nd meeting of the Village of Mamaroneck Board of Architecture Review. And I am acting chair today. Our chair is absent. My name is Andrew Wallowitz. The other members of the board I'll introduce. We have Larry Cohen, Yvonne Levin, Cindy Lee.
Hi.
With us is also Barbara Ritter, who is a village planner, and Dennis Drogan, who's the assistant building inspector. So the plan for the evening is we'll go through the agenda as was posted on the website. We'll go project by project. Each presenter will come on hopefully with everyone else in their party. That means if it's an architect plus the owner of the property, and anyone who also wants to comment, if they could raise their hand and be entered into the session at the beginning, because we found that the Zoom delays are quite long, people trying to log on. And then we will hear the project, we'll ask some questions, we'll ask questions from the public, and then we'll make a vote. At this time, there are 4 members of a 5-member board, which means that to pass, you have to have 3 of us. If at any time you feel like you don't think you're going to pass on 3 of us, you can always back out, reorganize your project and come back at another time. We meet every 2 weeks. So I'm just saying that we do not have a quorum of 5 people to have 3 people vote yes. We have 4 people to vote yes. I think that is it to start the session. Does anyone remind me that we have any other issues, Barbara?
No, that's it.
Okay,
We're good.
so if we could go to the first project, Barbara?
Minutes.
Well, what about approval
Oh,
of
I'm sorry, the minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
So we're just going to approve the minutes from the last session. Has everyone had a chance to review?
Yes.
Any, can I have a motion to then accept the minutes? Cindy
I motion.
and Yvonne?
I second.
Okay,
Mhm.
and you are in favor, both of you?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Larry, yes, and I'm in favor too. So we will pass the minutes from the last meeting. Thank you, Barbara. I'm sorry about that. So if we can move on to the first project on the agenda. Thank you.
Okay, Jose. It's 521 Waverly Avenue.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry.
Oh, there.
Once again, I'm still new to this.
Sure.
All right. I'm Jose, Neptune Signs, 521 Waverly. I actually didn't fabricate this sign. I'm relocating it. It was at another location for about 16 years. 324 Northrop Avenue, Mamaroneck.
Okay.
So it's just he's moving his business to Waverly, and he wants to relocate and put his sign up that he had for
Are
16
you
years.
able to share your screen with us, Jose, to show us the new sign or the old sign on the new building?
I don't, like I said, I wasn't able to download it last time. I didn't even know how to put this on. I have my paperwork, but I don't have it on my screen. I sent it in though to
Oh,
everybody.
yeah. We reviewed it, but usually we review as a group.
I'm sorry. I still haven't figured that part out yet either. So I'm not, I'm usually just a guy on the road, but now I'm doing all this.
All right. I'm going to try to go to the Village of Mamaroneck website very quickly and pull that up. Okay.
I appreciate it.
I was not expecting to do that, but if you just give me 1 minute.
Thank you, Andy.
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
What is it that I would have to do to share it on my screen, just so I know? But
Well, you have to just have it available.
It has to be available in your documents or on your desktop or something on your computer, right? To be.
yeah, see,
able to-
I've never worked from this. I'm usually working in my shop.
Okay, so I'm gonna just share my screen now.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
No, let's see, hold on a second. Not sure why it said that, share screen. Basic events. Barbara, is there you limiting me sharing my screen? It doesn't say that I can.
No, it says all panelists can share.
Because it's not coming up as my screen is not coming up as something to share. I don't know why that is.
I've never shared a screen.
I haven't done it in a very long time, I have to
No,
say.
for
I
some
don't
reason
think-
though, it's not, okay. 1 second, let me just try something else. All right, how about this? How about we move on to the next project? And meanwhile, I'll try to see if I can share my screen and then we'll come back. Is that fair enough to everyone? Or is that
Mhm.
you wait a project and I'll see if I can share, because the board has to see the project in group and let public make a comment if they want to. So if we can just move on to the next project and I'll try to,
Andy, give me 1 moment. I'm just. see if I
okay,
can
very
pull it
good.
up.
I'm not sure why my Mac is not sharing it. I'm sorry.
Nope. Stop share. Share screen. I'm also having trouble. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't understand why that is.
I mean, I wonder if we could all view our own,
Yeah, but that wouldn't allow the public to view.
I know,
Yeah.
if there were no public
Yeah, right.
Oh,
comments.
so Barbara, is there public to view? Is there public?
Nobody's raising their hands,
Okay,
and the public can go on the website and see it.
very true. So I'm gonna look at this myself then.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same
Okay.
on my phone. Wait.
I
uh-oh.
will say that I drove by it on Sunday and I thought it was a nice addition to the building.
It kind of looks, it has the general feeling of the building, I thought, with the colors and everything, right? It felt like it belonged there.
Well, I know it's existing. It's an existing sign that
Yeah.
it's been relocated, but it had more than 4 colors. I mean, I'm just saying.
It had more than it did. It had a
Yeah,
it had a
it has
rim
gold.
around it, didn't it?
Gold, white, green, organdy frame, and black, right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so
So
Can we-
actually 5. So I'm just
can we
saying.
just defer to Dennis for a second on this? This is a relocation of an existing sign.
Right.
So and it fits in terms of size. It appears to meet all the requirements. Dennis, is there any problem with the fact that it has technically more colors than it's supposed to?
So the code states there can't be more than 3 colors to a sign,
Unless there's a
On the other hand-
logo.
unless it's a logo, exactly. And I mean, it's already a sign that was existing on an existing business in the village of Mamaroneck for a period of time. So I'm okay with the sign as it stands. And if you'd like, you know, the presenter, if you have a photo on your phone, you can, you know, bring the photo up and put it to the lens of your computer and we can view it that way.
Well,
Just
I
to
have
get,
I
you don't
also
have a photo?
this, but this is, could you see this?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring it all the way to the screen.
Oh,
Right.
this way?
Move to
Move
the
it over
side a little bit.
slightly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
More to your right.
okay.
Yeah, right
How
there,
about
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. That's it.
yeah,
Is that good enough or?
yeah, it's fine. I think
Oh.
everyone on the board has seen it.
Yeah.
Does anyone on the board have any questions about it, other than the fact that it's technically, it doesn't match our current, but it seems to be sort of grandfathered in, at least that's my take on it.
Yeah, he
Unless,
said he was there for about 16 years or
unless
something.
Barbara or Dennis have some technical other reason against that. You know, is there anyone in the public who wants to comment?
No hands raised.
Okay. I think we could just move on to a vote. Larry, you want to make a motion?
Yes, I move that we accept the sign.
Okay, Cindy,
I second.
yeah, Yvonne,
Yeah.
in favor, and I'm in favor, so it's 4 out of the 4 of us. So we support the sign. That's fine.
Thank you, Jose.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Jose.
it. And I'll
Thank
try
you.
better next time to download what I.
Yeah, you just need to have it on your desktop. I'm not sure why we're having problems. I hope that's not something that's going to happen on other panelists. I mean, other projects.
And I want to say,
Right, we'll
Andrew,
have to
I
see.
believe you helped me last time with it, so I don't.
Okay. All right, good. Have a good evening. Take
I
care now.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
So our next project, Barbara. Is 648 Shore Acres.
Yes.
Somebody just wanted to make sure they were in the queue to be heard. Did you see that?
Yes,
Yes,
Kevin
Kevin, you're
Longer.
in the queue. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mark Masticato, the architect.
Hi, Mark.
for
How are you?
Ferranti at 648 Shrinker's. Good, how are you?
Hi,
I'll share my screen.
Sure.
thank you.
I hope you're having an easier time than we are for some reason.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so this is an existing house under construction, as I'm sure you know, at 648 Shore Acres Drive. And what we're here for tonight is to, hang on one second, trying to move this out of the way if I can. Is for this rear terrace area. Originally, we had a roofed area here. And Mr. and Mrs. Ferrante, they have actually a pretty large family. They felt there really wasn't enough room for a seating area and a table area, so they want to expand it to include this footprint here. And then take it across where the sitting room is and put steps down to what eventually will be a pool area here and here at the back. Go to an elevation. So this is the rear elevation. So again, the area that, sorry a second, I zoom in there. The area that was originally going to be the roofed porch was just sort of this area right here. And we always had this circular stair coming down. And so now they want to expand it to include this area here and to add this, this terrace area here and the glass railing. Originally, there were just going to be steps right down from this door. But, you know, since they were working with the engineer, they're changing the pool design somewhat, so that changed sort of the patio design. So that basically is the change that we're proposing at this point.
But
I have some pictures I can show you of the house and the neighboring houses, if you want to see
because
that.
I'm a little confused about what's new and what's old. It looks like you're showing us what's old, right?
Okay, so here's some pictures of the back of the house now.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
So originally they were just going to be steps coming out here, and the
understand.
original patio was just going to be here. And then they decided that that wasn't enough room, and they wanted to expand the roof patio to get more room there. As far as neighboring houses, this is the house to the left.
Right.
Some pictures of the front of the house now, and then the house to the right. So yeah, again, this is, you know, originally there were just going to be steps coming out here and the grade was going to be up here. And now they've revised that. So we wanted to expand the this area and get a bigger roofed area.
Yeah. But they change, you change everything also, right? All the elevations are different somewhat.
I'm
In
sorry, say
terms
that one more
of-
time?
The elevations are different. I mean, it's just that an observation. Because I see the rear elevation, there was an old design.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
we removed some of our moldings that we had in there. We kind of made it a little more modern looking as far as
Yeah.
fenestration.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. Yeah. Oh, just
Is the,
an observation.
is the drawings that you submitted what's actually being built as well?
This,
For
yes,
the front of the house?
the front of the house.
Because when I drove by the other day, like the top, the garage door design is different than the drawings and things like that.
The garage doors, let me see if I
The
can.
drawings have a rounded top, these have a
Right.
square.
It
Yeah.
looks very different than the elevations
There
that
were-
Yeah,
we're
there
they,
were
looking
they,
at.
several
they did
changes.
eliminate, we had rounded, we had moldings in here.
Yeah.
Crown moldings and things that they have changed, yes.
Right. There were, I mean, in my opinion, it's changed drastically. Am I missing something because I'm looking at the diamond patterns that were once there and the stone, well, the stonework, I guess,
Yeah, the
is
stonework. is
still there.
Yeah, we had diamond patterns in the gables. They decided to not do that. They wanted to go with a cleaner, more modern look.
I definitely like the cleaner, more modern look, but I'm just wondering if have we ever approved this version?
I don't believe so, because we never revised these drawings.
So I mean, don't
Because
we
we
have to
weren't- we weren't
approve this as well as the back of the roof cover?
That's at your discretion, I guess, to be honest with you. You know, these are
Larry,
changes that they
and-
made with their contractor.
Dennis,
Have it. Dennis, where's Dennis?
I'm here. I'm always listening, but give me a question. So,
Yeah, we want your opinion on this.
okay. So, there's been no revision as stated, but you feel that this is not what was proposed originally, correct?
I don't think so. Do you all agree with me? Does the board
Yeah,
agree with me?
I agree that it's different. So, I mean, whoever has designed the plans, and or Bill or Andrew, in this case, I don't know.
Can-
It's just different. I mean, I like it. It's not
Yeah,
a
I
matter
like
of-
it too.
I think it looks very nice, but it's just I don't know a question
Yeah,
of
thank you for
procedure.
sharing that. So
Yeah,
I'm
this was-
just wondering the protocol.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, honestly, these were changes that were made without consulting us.
Mm.
So,
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
really?
so sorry, board,
But
but so
you're
the
the
solve all
architect,
here
yeah.
is if there's been changes to what was approved by BAR, and has there been a framing inspection yet on the site? Has
Yes.
anything been performed? Okay, and
Yes.
the inspector didn't call out that there's changes?
no,
Okay, so why don't we pause, right? And file the change of plan, put an amendment in to amend what's there, and then approach the board again with everything in good standing. So if you've already gone past the original scope of work, then, I think it's best that you proceed to the board after you file the amendments.
so you want amended elevations for the whole house,
Correct.
okay?
well, it becomes confusing when
No, I
we are
understand.
reviewing it as a board. We review these packages a week before we meet.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's sometimes hard for us to understand what we're looking at. And right now we understand why this one may have been confusing.
I
Right?
understand.
Yeah, yes. I
We
mean, the
appreciate
real,
it.
All right, so
Yeah,
we'll, I
yeah.
guess, adjourn and come back.
Thank
That's
you.
appropriate. Thank you
Okay.
so much, the rest of the board,
Sure.
for
yeah, I think so.
your comments. And so we will just adjourn this project until the next meeting. And
Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good
so
night.
much. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
You
All
too.
right, thank you.
Okay, so with that, our next project is 140 Teresa Lane. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Stephanie.
Hello,
Hello there.
Oh,
Hello.
I am Stephanie Malinsky, the architect. I'm going to try to share my screen here.
Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So the house is here, and in the blue, they have an existing screen porch that we'd like to convert into a bedroom and bathroom and closet. These are the existing photographs of the front of the house. Up here, you can see the screen porch from the front. It looks like it's a room already.
Mhm.
From the side and from the back. Here's a demolition plan and the floor plan of what we'd like to do. And elevations of what it will look like, you know, will match the existing siding, and it'll just blend in with what is there. The roof is existing, so, you know, it's pretty much going to look very similar as it does currently.
Mhm.
You're matching all the
So-
windows to be the same trim.
Yep, same trim, same siding.
Is there a color change?
No, we're going to match the existing house color.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the roof stays the same. It's just the walls, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like I said, from the front, it's pretty much going to be the same. We're just making that window larger. And then from the side and the back, it'll just, you know, be the siding will continue across.
Mhm. Yeah.
I propose we accept the drawings.
Yes.
let me just check the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
No hands raised. Okay,
I
Okay.
second with Larry.
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
Is Andy here?
He's
I'm sorry
muted.
about
Now
that. I'm
he's
sorry
back.
about that. I'm talking to you and you didn't realize I'm talking to you. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm in favor. So we have 4 of 4 in favor, and thank you very much for presenting. And
Great, thank you so much.
sorry about that.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That is Zoom,
Bye.
right? Sometimes you're not aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we're on
405 Prospect.
right, 405 Prospect, solar panels.
All right.
Mhm.
Who's here from St. Melissa Mitchell? Okay. All right, Melissa, where'd you go?
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hello, Melissa. How are you?
Hi.
Good,
how are
thank
you?
you. My name is
Hi.
Melissa Mitchell. Hi.
Mhm.
My name is Melissa
Hi.
Mitchell with Sun Power Corporation, and we are here because we are looking to install a 7.65 kilowatt roof-mounted grid-tied solar system at 405 Prospect Avenue. We'll be installing a total of 18 PV modules, 425 kilowatts each, 18 microinverters, and conduits running off the roof. I will share my screen for you so we can look at the plans together. And I also have pictures too. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is the plan set here, and this is the layout. As we see here, this is the street side, and the amount of panels that'll kind of be like visible, almost visible from the street. I say almost because when I take you over to the pictures, which I'll think I have to reshare. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
Yes.
backyard.
Oh, wonderful. You can see it. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
So this is what it looks like when you get on the property, but I'll show you.
That's the back, right?
Yes,
Right.
this is the back.
Yes.
Right.
Right,
That's
right.
where it's a interesting layout than most of our projects. But this is what it would look like
Okay.
rendered.
You know, that I don't understand because your plan doesn't show the panels there.
So when I look from this angle, this is the street facade,
Uh-huh.
and from the street, you're unable to see the actual panels. So the best place I could kind of put it was here.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. I
Mhm.
understand. Yeah, you hardly see the house. What I was saying is that
Mhm.
what you just show us,
Yes,
I think it's the back, wasn't it the back of the house?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I believe.
And you were showing panels in the back, not in the right spot, if you compare it to the plans. That is just an observation, again.
I appreciate that, Yvonne. Thank you for pointing that out.
Mhm.
And then if you look, it is a corner, not a corner lot, but the corner lot is from this angle. And I just wanted to put this picture also.
Mhm,
Hold on, sorry.
mhm.
Right here. So this is the house. So I tried to get an angle. It's very hard to get images of the house, but
Mhm.
because of all the trees. But this was
Yeah.
it from this side.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that the plans are correct, not
Yes,
that
ma'am.
rendering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct.
Got you.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you just say you think the plans are correct and not the rendering with the?
There's one rendering that she should just show from the back of the house,
Right.
and the location, they
No, I
drew.
understand, but which one is correct? I'm not following.
So the one that is
Okay.
correct, the one that
Do you
is
want to-
correct, Sydney, is the one on the plan set is correct. I
Okay,
tried
so
because
that is not correct at all, having it on the back there. It's only on
Yeah.
the front and on the side, on
on the
the
other side. Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I put
this
it
is
there so
not-
you could kind of get an idea of what it would look like on the house, even though it is in a different spot, because I couldn't show on any of the pictures the actual panels on the front.
Okay.
That's
Well,
why I
because-
did it that way. It was very difficult.
and this is the
Yeah.
house that has the nice flowering cherry in front of it, right? Or something like that in the
Yes, ma'am.
pictures.
Yes, you're right, Sydney.
Mhm.
Okay, well,
And I'm
I
happy
mean,
to
it's
go back
nice
to
that
the
those
plan
trees
set.
are there. They won't
can
be
you go
there in the
back?
winter.
Sure, I'll go back. Hold on one sec.
So the house is basically is basically symmetric around the axis of the, right? So if you look at it from the back and you look at it from the front,
Yeah,
the roofs are
right.
similar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
right?
understand what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
there was,
understand.
there's not a view from the front. She tried to show it in the back.
Yeah.
But it's confusing, you know.
Sorry, I do
but
apologize if it was confusing. I
That's
do
okay. I mean, I
So-
think the panels are arranged pretty nice in the front, and it is
Yeah.
a two-story. And
So
so
Melissa,
that's-
here's a question about the tree, right? So there's a tree in the front of the property. I'm sorry, I've not been
Right.
in Merrimack this week, so I personally wasn't able to see the property.
No
But there's a
worries.
tree in the front,
Mm-hmm.
and that tree is going to remain?
Yes, sir. It is going to remain. We are not removing that tree.
I see.
okay.
Okay. And the disconnect panels are where the current service to the house comes in?
Yes, sir.
I see.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anyone in the community, Barbara, that has put up their hand?
Let's see. No one is raising their hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, are we ready to vote? I think so. Someone on the board
Yeah,
want to make a
I
motion?
motion.
Yes, okay. And any second? Cindy?
I second.
Okay. Larry?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm also in favor.
Thank
Just
you all
a-
so much for your time.
Thank
Bit
you.
of
Thank
trivia
you,
about-
Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you. A bit of trivia, having driven by the house to the left of it has a sign out front that Norman Rockwell lived there in the early 1900s.
Oh,
Oh,
I
didn't know
love that.
really?
That's a
Oh,
nice trivia
that's nice.
token for us. It's such a
Uh-huh.
pretty street. I love that street.
All right, Kevin, I'm gonna bring you in. This is 1015 Sea Haven.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
thank you.
Hi, good evening, hi.
Hello,
My name is Kevin Lawner, this is my wife Lily.
hello.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, apparently we know each other. Hi Cindy.
Yeah, hi.
We're proposing to replace, let me share my screen and I'll see if this works. Okay, no. Which one? Which one? This one? Whiteboard? This one, let's try that. Is that working? Can you?
That, I don't think, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
good. So we're proposing to replace an existing concrete patio, which is right here, highlighted in yellow. It's surrounding our pool in the backyard. The house is here. You'll see Orient Avenue is on the left-hand side of the survey. Sea Haven is just off the top. We're not touching the flagstone patio. We just are replacing the concrete patio surrounding the pool. And when I show you the photographs, you'll see there's an existing masonry wall there. We're going to place some veneer on it. And before we do, we're going to reinforce it with rebar. And hang on, let me see if I can get you those photographs. That's what we're going to send it to. That's this. Here they come, right here. All right. So this is the patio.
So, excuse me,
Yeah.
are you able to enlarge drawings?
Sorry?
Are you able to enlarge stuff, right? Like there you go, like just expand everything. just so-
Sure, yeah,
Appreciate it.
100%, yeah. There you go. And let me see if I can zoom in on that. There you go.
Thank
So,
you.
Great, thank you.
mhm. This is from looking at the rear of the house, just from the pool. You'll see that the concrete patio is just a black concrete. Hang on a sec. That was the way it existed when we moved in. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. And here's another view of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be centering now. Let me do it like that.
yeah, we see it.
That's good, we get it.
Yeah, that's basically what the concrete looks like from that angle.
Uh-huh.
The best angle, I think, to see the masonry wall is here.
Mhm.
This would be the right-hand side of the masonry wall, and this portion shows the longer length of it. It's kind of, it undulates and has a turn to it, but it's just a kind of basic concrete, and we wanted to make it a little bit nicer by putting a veneer of bedrock on it.
Uh-huh.
And there's some side steps as well.
And are you also replacing the paving on the terrace,
No,
on the upper portion?
no,
No.
we're not touching that.
Okay.
Um,
And so you're doing some kind of a, since you're putting this veneer on top
Mhm.
of the concrete,
mhm.
I guess, and you put some kind of paver on top, I mean, in order
That's
to
right,
cover
yeah,
the,
yeah, that's
okay.
right. That's also part of
Okay.
the project, that's right. And if you
okay.
want.
So it's just a border, you're doing the border, not the whole terrace.
No, we're not touching the top area here, where
Mhm.
you see the furniture,
Okay.
we're not touching. Just these steps coming down and the actual wall itself. I mean, everything is staying, we're not touching, we're not moving the existing footprint of anything.
No, I understand that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about the transition between, you were putting the veneer the stone veneer, and then on that floor, on the terrace, how you would cover that? But you just said there's like a coping or some kind of
There
bluestone stone.
is a
Yes.
coping, but you'll see that there's actually about a 1.5 foot space between this bluestone
Ah.
here and the masonry
Ah.
wall, which is actually a planter. We use this as,
Oh, it's hard to see. Yeah. hard to-
as a
yeah.
planting area. Maybe I don't know if you could see from a different angle, but that's really what it is. It's a planting area for
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
things like,
Yeah.
we use this area for planting.
So are you going to leave it as a planter
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
that
not?
would- yeah.
Yes?
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe you could walk us through, I know you have some materials, some finishes. You
Yep.
can walk us through.
Let's see where I put those things here. Here, there. So unfortunately, we were never given a brochure. We went to the place up in Bedford called Bedford Stone, and we're doing this thermal bluestone. It's like a blue gray. You'll see it's not
Yeah.
it's not totally uniform in color. There's different shades. Each of the
Mhm.
pieces of stone will be a different shade, and this will be for the concrete patio. This will be replaced with that blue stone, and the coping is also bluestone coping, typically gray, and this is the Bedford blend, which we're going to be using for the veneer.
Mhm. I see.
A mix of fieldstone and quarried materials.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's nice.
But that's,
Okay.
that's, unfortunately, we didn't have a brochure, but I got this from the website. So.
No, I think we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
Barbara, is there anyone in the community that would wish to comment?
No, no hands raised.
And I understand this is in the back of the property, correct?
Right.
That's correct.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a nice improvement. It's going to be very attractive, and I'm good.
Okay, so that means Cindy is making a motion to approve. Yvonne,
Yeah, I second.
Larry,
Yes.
and I go along with it too. I approve.
Chair, if I
Yes,
may,
Dennis?
Oh,
Sydney, I can't speak. You have to remove yourself from voting since you are familiar with the applicant.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, I actually texted you that, and I'm sorry I forgot. I asked
Oh.
if you needed to recuse yourself.
Well,
I
was just surprised. I mean, we're not,
at
We
this
don't really
point,
know each
no,
other.
that's okay. At
That's
this
okay.
Oh, you
point,
still have the three anyway, so you're
we voted in
okay.
favor.
Okay.
So,
I understand that completely.
yeah.
okay.
I whispered that to my wife, in fact.
yeah.
No, I know. Well,
Recuse yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I had texted you. or
okay,
chatted
I'm
with you.
sorry I missed that. And
Okay, so we'll just make in the minutes that Cindy Lee has recused herself from the vote, and in
Mhm.
voting in favor is Larry, Yvonne, and myself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And,
thank you
and,
so much.
and the motion should be changed as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Yvonne,
Yeah.
would you like to make the motion? then?
Okay, I motion. Did I?
And then
Yeah.
Larry?
I second.
Okay.
Very good, and I vote in favor. Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much. Have a nice
Mhm.
evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
bye.
Thank you, Dennis. I had started that process and then I let slip as we got farther on. Oh, look at the dogs. No
No
cats.
worries.
No cats and dogs. Okay, so our next project,
1311.
1311 Franklin.
Okay, Richard Hine.
So when I drove by this the other day, it's under construction already. The whole house.
Oh, yeah.
Chair, board, they currently have a demo permit and there was also a structural fire on the property.
Oh,
So when you say that, Dennis, so what the current conditions are the demo and mitigating the fire damage? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
I understand. So there's no new construction according to these plans. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Very good. Okay, just make it clear for the board, for the minutes. Okay, hello, Mr. Hine.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm actually just trying to pull up my screen. If you
Sure.
just give me one moment, please.
Sure.
Okay, good. Good evening. Thank you so
And
much.
actually, can I just, is there any, you are the architect?
That is correct.
Is there any, is the owner present?
I do not believe so. No.
Okay. Barbara, is there any? Okay, let's move on then.
Yeah, quickly. This is effectively work in the back of the house. I'll just scroll quickly. The front elevation on your left, the right elevation where my mouse is.
No,
Richard,
we're
it's
not
not
seeing-
No.
showing.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, you're not seeing anything. Excuse me.
No.
Let's try it again. How about now?
Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. I apologize.
Yes.
Where my cursor is on the left is the existing front elevation. No changes proposed in tonight's presentation. The rear elevation focusing on this existing, what had been apparently an addition at some point after the original building was built. That will be restored, reconfigured. There was damage there. The new addition is in this void up here, and the new addition is effectively to replicate and match the existing gambrel and all the existing details. This is the view from the neighbors. They're the neighbors to our face, and here's the neighbor to our left. So a very nice neighborhood, and obviously everything on the front of the building remains as is. I'll now go back to my next drawing, which is the survey you have indicating this is the addition of the existing one-story structure, and the new work is above that only. And now to the plans, the proposed work on the second floor. There's a proposed remodel of the interior with no changes other than restoration of windows and trim. However, I will add, and I'm going to zoom in.
Please, thank you.
There's a proposed, there's an existing barely 30-inch door right here currently, and the owner, the contractor, would like us to request your approval for a 5-foot French appearance of a French door, which would be a sliding door. Second floor, a reconfigured interior. This is the addition with the master bedroom, master bath, and a closet, and the roof plan, which is the gambrel, which is turning of the ridge. Here's the front with no changes. You can see the profile of the addition in the rear. Here is the profile of the addition from the side elevation on looking from the right side. This is looking from the left side. And you can see the details in the brackets complement the existing gambrel. And here it is from the rear elevation. What you would see currently is a flat roofed, looks like an enclosed porch with just terrible disrepair. So we hope that the board will find that this is an improvement to the existing condition and is in compliance and compatible with the neighborhood. With that, I'm pretty much done with my presentation. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll just show you our detail page. This gelled windows matching the existing double hung, a shadow textured 20-year roof, AZAC trim, brackets, and siding that would have matched the existing. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's a vinyl siding?
You know what? I have to be perfectly honest with you. I can't confirm that. I believe it is cedar siding. I have to go back to my notes. I can text my associate while we're.
It's
doing this.
matching. All right. I mean, it's matching what's the existing on the house.
Yes, but well, actually, what's there is probably vinyl. I'm going to text my associate. I believe it. I can tell you that it's a quality build. It'll be a very, very historically correct home. So I can.
Yeah, it
I
looks
will
good.
get back to you with written confirmation if you like, but I'm going to proffer that it is cedar siding.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it will match in color and everything. I mean,
Mhm.
except it could be a
It would
different
defeat the
material.
purpose of the builder's renovation to do vinyl. So
I see.
Uh-huh.
I was just, with the name of it looked to me like maybe it was not cedar. I don't know. The name of that product.
but it could be a Boral, which is actually a composite that is visually identical to cedar, but
Mhm.
it's, you know, really it's a composite product.
Mhm.
Understand. Okay. Does anyone on the board have any questions for the plans as they've been presented?
I do not.
No?
No.
Okay. I'm going to assume if Larry hasn't said anything, doesn't have any questions either.
I'm good. I would have liked to have seen a picture of it as it is today. It looks as if it's under construction already.
What part, Larry, is under construction as you see it?
The front of the house looks like it's a construction site already.
Yeah,
That's why, with the portage on there and other things like that.
Mr.
Oh.
Cohen
But they
is
are not
correct.
doing it.
No, Mr.
Right,
Cohen
they're
is
not
correct.
doing it.
No, this work was simply the restoration of the siding in the front. It's to, again, there's no architectural changes to the front. There's no relocation of any of the architectural elements. It's really just a restoration. Mr. Cohen is correct.
Ah, uh-huh.
Okay. Barbara, is there anyone in the community that would like to comment?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. Dennis, do you have any questions or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Could I have a motion to vote?
I motion.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. So Cindy, your vote,
Yes.
and Yvonne,
Yes.
and Larry,
Yes.
and I vote yes. I vote in favor. Okay, so that's 4 votes.
Thank you all
very
for your
much.
time. I greatly appreciate it.
Sure, and good luck to you.
Sure.
Good
night.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next project is 539 Jefferson.
Yes.
All right. We got Albert. We got Peter.
Good evening. My name is Peter Catazone with Catazone Engineering. I'm representing Albert and Dina Cortina for the installation of a in-ground pool in their rear yard. I'd like to share my screen. So this is just an adjoiner's map. I just wanted to just show you the streetscape that's there now, the adjoining houses. This photo number 2 is the 539 Jefferson Avenue, which is the subject home. To the left is 541, which is a 1.5 story Cape Cod house. And then to the right is this 541, I'm sorry, 541 to the right. Is that right? 535, I'm sorry. So the project proposes an oval shaped pool in their existing backyard. We received a variance from the ZBA on September 23rd. And now we're here to review the products and materials and gain approval from this board. Hopefully, if this board concurs with our assessment or our presentation. So I want to show you just, first of all, the basic shape of the pool will be kind of like an oval shape. The Cortinas have very similar white vinyl fencing that surrounds their backyard now, which I'd like to show you. So this is a view from their back stairs, looking towards the MTA right away. You could see the white vinyl fence. The pool is going kind of the left half of the backyard. You could see that they have an existing flagstone patio, and what they are proposing is a concrete product. The picture doesn't do it justice, but grays, random pattern to mimic the existing patio that's there now. If I could just go back to the photograph, it'll be a walkout, there's no step, there's no separation between the existing and the proposed. So those colors really need to complement one another. And we already have a nice straight, smooth transition between the wall and existing flagstone. And then the other thing I wanted to review is the coping, which will be this Barolo round edge, and that will be in black. And if this board has any questions, we're happy to answer those this time.
It's also a concrete product, or is it stone?
It's a concrete product. This
Great.
is
So everything will be concrete. Okay.
everything will be concrete.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Would you-
The
Oh, go ahead, Jan, I'm sorry.
no, okay. No, one of the fences, the one here in this drawing, the one on the top, is it high enough? I mean, I know it looks different than the other two walls. I know there's a photo. You have a photo that shows
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna do it
The picket,
for
Yeah.
this, 4-foot fence. We'll have to
Yeah.
verify that, part of the pool permit is we have to convert, there's 3 gates. So those gates would have to be converted to, self-close. We have to verify that the fence is 4 feet.
The height.
The code requires
Yeah.
4 feet. If you look at the shed, this is probably not an 80-inch door, but it's certainly higher than 4 feet.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, it's probably a
Probably 6 foot or so.
probably 72 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that looks like 72-inch panels.
Yeah.
72.
but on the
Okay.
other side,
Right.
it looks like there's a scalloped picket, right?
Yes. Yes.
Go to
Can you
that.
show the photo?
The other side of the yard has a
Right.
shorter fence. Is that what you were referring to, Yvonne?
Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe
Yeah.
we just
Find
keep
that
seeing the
photo.
same one.
Yeah,
I think,
if I could just add, on the other side, we do have, it's a 4-foot picket fence, and this is 6 feet,
We'll be changing
what we're
it.
looking at right now. And we will be changing out the 4-foot to 6 feet all around.
You're changing that too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking also for privacy. because
Yes,
it's quite
yes,
open.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you're kind of matching that 6 feet or whatever that is. All right. Yeah, it will be better for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
could you
Okay.
go back to the plan for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the item in the other half of the, what's happening in the other half of the backyard? I'm just curious.
That's going to remain grass. What you're looking at here on the plan is an underground detention system.
Okay,
So we have, even though the pool kind of holds its own water, so if you have 3 inches of rainfall, it's largely contained in the pool. We still have to treat the pool as impervious cover.
Okay.
Also, we have to have enough volume for a drawdown for winter shutdown of the pool, that we have enough storage to draw down the pool to below the skimmer level to prevent damage of any pipes.
Mhm. And
So that's what
just
you
the way,
see on the other side is all underground. It's nothing visible other than a drain.
right.
Mhm.
And now where's the fence line where
Okay.
it joins the house? I'm just curious.
The fence line.
You can just use your mouse to maybe show or something.
So the fence comes along here,
Yeah.
and I think it dies into the shed here.
Oh, I see. That's the okay. Now I understand. That's the
Right,
shed.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
This is a concrete pad. I'll highlight that also on, and then it continues here. This is the, and over to here
Okay.
now. If we
Okay.
kind of move over, I should have started. There is,
There you go.
yeah, that's better. There is a gate
Yeah.
here.
I see that.
There is
I see the
also,
A gate over there,
there's a gate
Yeah.
here as
right
well.
at the end. Yes. Okay.
So
Okay.
just all these, there's a lot of windows and two egress, right? All that's going to be alarmed then, correct?
Yeah, so we have egress here, and we are discussing that with our client and with the pool person now, how we, handle that. It's got to meet the code, so it'll have to have some sort of alarm or something
Right.
on it.
Okay, I'll do the test. Okay.
Mhm.
Does the board have any other questions? Larry, I haven't heard.
No. In the
Okay.
future, the plan would have helped immensely during your submittal.
Okay, apologize for that.
Agreed, because it almost looked like it wasn't an in-ground pool, but an above-ground pool with the, right? The way it read with
And you
the
had a lot of pictures of
specs.
the backyard, but there was no connection of what you were
Yeah,
highlighting in the pictures. It was
Agree.
just pictures of backyard.
Gotcha.
So, thank you.
Okay. So just one more time. So everything besides the pool is this racetrack set in a rectangle of pavers, and all the rest of the backyard is grass, apart from the concrete pad for the storage unit.
The concrete pad for what?
The
I'm
storage
sorry.
unit? If you
Storage
could
Storage
divide
unit,
the
yeah, the
dining room.
storage unit, the shed has a small concrete apron in front of it.
I see. Okay.
So
And that's
everything else
remaining.
is, excuse me,
I'm sorry. Is that's remaining? The concrete
that's
pad?
gonna remain. That's gonna remain, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
let me just, so the pool
Okay.
is,
Yeah.
kind of where this tarp is.
Sure.
This
Okay.
is the area where the pool goes.
Mhm. Very good.
Now, the other thing I want to say is that we showed conservatively this entire rectangle as a, paved area, but we will not exceed that square footage, but we may soften, for example, the left side near the fence and provide a little area for landscape there. And, we may round off the edges or something of that nature. But we just wanted to show kind of the worst case scenario as far as the limits of the pavers.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
all of that is flush with the lawn, pretty much. right?
Everything is flush, and I'll go back to that same picture, which I think tells the story. You could
Right.
see
Yeah.
everything is flush,
That
the
was helpful.
backyards,
Mhm.
Almost dead level. It does have a little bit of slope on it, but it's
Okay.
pretty flat yard.
Mhm.
Obviously, the swing set may be relocated or removed. Although it doesn't interfere with the pool at that location.
Sure. Okay, Barbara, is there any comments or anyone in the public that's wishing to raise their hand and make comments?
No public.
No public.
I have a couple questions. This
Sure.
is Dennis, the building
Thank you, Dan.
inspector. So the side yard setback for that zone is 6 feet, right?
Yes.
If you go back to the site
Yes.
view
Yeah.
plan, and you're proposing a concrete patio or walkway around the whole pool. So
Yes.
that patio closest to the fence will be within outside the setback. So
Well, the setback is the pool setback as we understood it. And we had been dealing with Frank on this early on. I mean, this goes way back to the start of the pandemic. And we've always presented I mean, if I'm misinterpreting, I apologize, but my understanding was that the setback was to the pool, not to any patio.
So, yeah, 6 feet from the rear, and then whatever the setback is for the swimming pool, you're good, right? But for the concrete walkway, we can't have a poured surface there. So that could be set in stone dust, which may also help you with your impervious surface
Okay.
ratio.
Mhm.
And then what's your overall lot coverage per
I
surface?
should have that on here. I hope. Maximum build
43.
43. Hold on. Is that right?
That's what it says there.
Yeah, yeah. Maximum build coverage. Oh, that's building coverage. I'm not sure. That should be on here. I don't have the lot coverage on here. That's building coverage. I'm sure I have those numbers in a worksheet somewhere.
Okay, so we can cross that bridge later
Mhm.
when you get through this process. But the concrete alongside the pool and the fence would definitely have to be set in. That would have to be stone dust.
Stone dust, no
Yeah,
problem.
pavers, whichever, whatever you decide. But yeah, we can't do the concrete there, so that will change your impervious surface. So you'll definitely be under. And then later on, when you do the submission, just attach a letter to this document to the building department stating what your lot coverage is entirely. Because the
Okay.
pool does count as a structure and all other concrete. Board, I have no questions, but I feel that you can vote on it, not that you need my confidence on it.
Yeah, Dennis, if I could just so there's clarity, I think mostly between Mr. Catazon and yourself. So you're talking about along where it says sidewalk patio space, that has to be set on stone dust versus concrete, but how much of that how far from the fence to the pool would have to be on stone dust?
So 6 feet.
Well,
Unless they
the
wanna get it-
pool edge is on the setback line, so the coping will be permanently attached.
Right, that was my question.
So, yeah, so, the pool can be moved in slightly, so we're not in the setback.
Okay.
If you're gonna have the issue with the coping. So when I see the circle, that's where I see is the edge of the coping is that circle. So yeah, I mean, if you want to vote on it, we can do an amendment where the pool gets moved in a foot or two. That's up to the design professional to approach the building department of what the change will be to the plan.
We can
But as long as the
revise the
aesthetics-
plan and update the coverage and update the pool location slightly.
Correct, correct. So as long as the board approves the aesthetics, the building department can take care of the distance and the clearance from the setback line.
Sure.
And you're very approachable. I'm sure we're not going to have any issues. And that's it. So I mean, if the chair, if the pool was to be located a foot more into the property or a foot and a half more into the property, I don't think it will affect the aesthetics of the what's proposed.
Right. Right. Because they're actually gaining, you're actually gaining permeable surface by doing that. Correct? Yeah.
Correct.
So, okay. Larry, would you like to make a motion?
I move that we accept the plan.
Okay,
I second.
very good. And Yvonne?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm also in favor. So that is 4 votes.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Very much.
Thank you. Good luck. Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
summer.
Thank you.
And I believe we're at the last project, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
705 Hall Street. Before you start, could we have some introductions?
Yes, hi, my name is Eva. I'm a general contractor and also I'm the owner of the property. Which is I own a small construction company with a showroom in Mansard, which is 597 East Boston Post Road, right next to the Pizza Gourmet. And I am planning to have a second floor built up with low edit to be our family to move in. We live with the grandparents, so this, as right now, it won't enough to carry everybody in. So we need to raise the second floors. I'm going to share my screen with the drawing. So I'm a little bit nervous now.
Robert Gita is.
You know, I thought he was part of this, but I think he was the owner for a different one. And I'm going to try to move him back.
I see. Okay.
So this is proposed. Am I should continue?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. This is my proposed front elevation and my rear elevation. So I'm going to show you on the drawing. This is existing of the front elevation. And this is existing of the rear elevation. So my propose is we're going to adding a full height second floor with a edit, and then with the balcony, front and back. So that's pretty much it is. And in terms of right now, as it is the photo, this is existing house right now. As you can see, obviously need a lot of work for us to move on. And then the
did it get flooded?
I'm sorry.
No. Did it get flooded? No, with the hurricane? No.
No.
No,
It's
no
not,
flood.
it's,
Okay.
It's not in the flooding zone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm show you the photo, the plant. So the front, this is my past project. I did it in Scottsdale, which is a beautiful builder. I'm the GC for this job. So I'm going to do the same balcony for the front and the rear of this project as well. So just give you some photo idea. I wasn't prepared that much tonight, sorry. Yeah, that was the photo when we were done, but obviously it's going to be, huh?
Your screen is on the plan.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. My husband just remind me. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is the project we did it Scottsdale as a general contractor. I was GC for this brand new construction, and that was the balcony we put it in. So I'm going to do the same balcony for front and the rear. Obviously, this balcony was for decorate purpose, but we're going to do it for real function with the balcony.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
with the French door, which patio door in the front and the rear. So the second floor, I'm going to show you the layout of my second floor. So I had to stop and then share again, just make sure I'm on the right screen. All right. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is right now the existing layout, the existing first floor.
Can you, can 1 second, can you just make sure we understand what's the front of the house? Can you go back to the existing?
Sure.
No, plan.
Yes.
Where you were,
This is the existing front elevation.
right? So you
And
can
this
go
is
back
the
to the
rear.
plan views. Go back to where you were at the,
Oh, the plan view,
Okay.
not the elevation. Okay.
yeah, okay, just because it's unclear where this, what's the front, so below the bottom is the front of the house, because there's a bathroom there, not a front door.
No, that was a basement.
I see, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was a basement.
Okay, very good,
This is the first floor.
very good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the there's existing 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom here, and dining room and kitchen. Obviously, it's a very small kitchen, and then with the living room. So my proposed first floor is going to be, I'm going to have a family room here. I'm gonna open up this wall and make this living room here. So there's a family room and living room, and then which is still keep the bathroom as it is, the current location. And I have a 1 guest bedroom in the first floor, and I have a dining room, and open up a kitchen as well. So this
That's
one
nice.
here,
Yeah.
like a little porch is existing as well. I just open up. So
Yeah.
it became a very fully open of the first floor layout. And I think it definitely will be more better for the family.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah,
Much
the second floor,
improvement.
I'm so passionate on the second floor design, which is there's a balcony in the front. Obviously, you see there's a patio door, and this is a master room, and with the master bath with a shower and the tub. Okay, and then which is double sink, so it's kind of very big, and walk-in closet here. And then when you came right up, there is another bathroom here, which is I separate up to double sink outside. And then the toilet's right over here with the tub and the shower. So it's always have a tub and shower. So which is, this one is going to be serving those 2 bedroom. And then we have a family room with a patio door again. So people can walk out the patio here. So enjoying the patio. That right now where we are, our families very appreciate the patio, especially during the pandemic. We feel the patio is the best location to reach outside, and which is keep you safe. So that's why we want to build more patio with a family room, so we can have a little bit family area in the second floor as well. The third floor is not going to be anything, but it will be my little bit study room. I'm going to use it a little bit, but I'm going to finish up. We keep it as my play center. I'm a Buddhist student, so I'm going to use as my study center, study location. That'll be all. And then the basement, I'll show you the basement. The basement, before there's a little of the toilets right here. So I moved the toilets over here, and then have a mechanical room over here, and using the central heating system. And the laundry is over here in the basement. So trying to be more efficient, which is all those utilities together in the same area, and have this one to be open up for the kids, for their playground, for the play. So
they have, what's the height? Do you have enough room? I mean, in terms of clearance?
The total of the height?
Yeah, in
Yes.
that basement.
Oh, there is some.
I know you have a section. Yeah, you have a section somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, the basement. You mean the height for the basement height?
Yes.
I believe that I believe it's somewhere about between 7 to 8 feet high, as existing basement height.
Oh, okay. I thought it was less. Okay.
Yeah, And then the building, the beam is beautiful. Is 12 by 2. The existing beam, because anyway, it's right now is unfinished basement. So that's my presentation. If any,
So it's the basement and the first floor are existing, and you're adding 2 more floors.
yes, I'm adding a full height second floor and adding, yeah,
And an attic.
Right.
Can I ask a question about the attic?
Mhm.
Excuse me, but it seemed to me when I saw the plan, there were no windows, but on the elevations you show windows. Can you
it
just
doesn't
go-
have window on the elevate on the plant. Here, this is the elite. This is
That's
Oh, I
existing.
see.
right.
Okay.
I
The
do have that.
proposed,
Here, there's a window,
yes.
dormer. This
Well, it
3.
doesn't really show a window there, right? It just shows solid wall.
Right.
So, correct?
This is the win. Did you see my screen? This is the
I-
window. See.
Okay.
That's
'Cause
3
I'm just
windows.
showing the exterior wall does not show any
It does
windows.
have it as well. Let me see.
But, okay, I'm just saying the plan
A-
doesn't really show that. there's
Andy, I
windows.
understand what you're saying. It's drawn as if it's a solid wall,
It's drawn as a
not,
solid
not
wall.
dotted as if it's a window.
But yeah, what is the elevation?
That's a
It
window.
shows 2 windows.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
rear elevation. And then this is the front elevation, have 1 window, so 3 window.
Right, what he's saying is that they're not shown in the plan. That's what I think he's trying to say. They are not shown, it's shown as a solid wall,
That
that's all.
shows, right.
Mhm. Do you have the section? I mean, I know you have it somewhere. I've seen it, but yeah, it's coming up. There you go. Yeah, could you zoom in, please?
Sure. Yep, it's 6 feet 7. The basement.
Okay. Ah, okay. So it's not, okay, close to 7, but.
Mm-hmm.
Chair, board, if I may.
Yeah, please, I was
so-
gonna ask you, Dennis, anyway.
Yeah, no, thank you. So as for the layout inside, we really don't have to go over that. I agree with
Right.
the windows not being drawn in, the appearance of the windows not being drawn in correctly, but the dormers being shown. So that's great. That's a good call. So we'll need to do that for the plan review. As for the basement and the pre-existing, so it's below grade, there's less than 3 feet out of the ground, if I recall. So it is a cellar. So that's that. Second floor is fine. And then we have the second 2.5 stories. So my question is actually where we are right now is the overall elevation you're showing at 30 feet, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they're under the height requirement for the area, and you have for what is the 2.5 story at 6.6. So I'm comfortable with it. I have no issues, but I think Lion Contracting, if you can stick to the aesthetics and the outside and the continuity for the windows of what you're doing, more or less, than showing the interior design would save the board time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
It's
I
a
need
great
to-
house and all. No, no offense, but we can do the aesthetics.
Do you have any images of surrounding homes?
Correct.
I let me. I don't, but I know my next and right, they both have 2.5 storage high, 709. I can Google it if you don't mind.
I did Google it a few minutes ago, looking at the street and the homes around it.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. I can't really see the homes on the other side because there's tree coverage, but
Yes, they all have a 2.5 storage.
right.
One.
Yeah, I can see.
So I don't know if anyone see my screen. Here is
Yeah.
a 709.
Mhm.
It's a
Good.
two,
Thank
it's a two
Mhm.
storage.
Mhm.
And then the 701, I believe also is a two storage. This one is a two family, and then the other side is a single family. You see, this is my proposed property, which is 705
Mhm.
over here.
Yes.
Corner.
Okay.
Could
The,
you just go to Google, I'm sorry. Could you just go to
go
Google
ahead.
Street, just so we can just sort of,
Sure, let me see if I know how to do.
Supposed to-
Let's do the street view.
yes, there you go.
So this is this is 705, 709, and I
Mhm.
believe I don't know 73, 703 or 701 also over here.
Two story.
All the street
Okay.
here, they all set 2.5 storage high, except this one. So like this, you can see it.
Mhm.
If you keep move on, we'll see it.
I understand.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be mangled into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Having driven by on Sunday, it is within keeping of the neighborhood
Yeah.
in scale and height.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The what is going to be your facade treatment? Keep the stucco the way it
Yeah,
is,
keep
or
a stucco for the to match out with the first floor.
okay.
Yep.
And then second, the main entrance. You show the steps going all the way, the width of the
main entrance
the
is going
entrance.
to be as it is. The
Okay,
side.
so you're leaving it now because the drawing shows that there are steps. They have
Yeah,
the width of that. Okay,
The
so
only
which
thing
one?
is because this one here you see is
Yeah.
sliding over, so I made that to be straight for me to holding my balcony on the top. That's all. The only thing is
Yeah. No, I know that's going away, but then the steps, are they staying? The railing exactly?
yeah, they all
as it is?
staying. Those is going to be staying. The handrail I might
okay.
change it to be white color. I just don't like the black. No.
Oh, okay. Because the drawing, when you look at the front facade, it's just different. The steps are different. They are the whole width of that volume there in the front. That's all.
Okay.
Dennis, is there any question about egress windows on the attic? Because she's proposing to use it as like a, not a bedroom, but as a useful space, not just storage.
I'm with you. I'm just kind of typing through here. So yeah, if we can go back to the front elevation.
Yep. This is the proposed front elevation. Huh? No. Sorry, did you see my elevation on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
I do. So I see it. So if we go to the side, right? So elevation, we're at 37, right? From ground. So we're at 37 from just short of the top of those windows there, right? And then we are at 27 on the base of the balcony. So as long as there's a 14-foot drop, is my understanding, that could be used as egress. We just need to make sure that those windows are sized appropriately. So what is the overall size of the window? We can work on that once we get the application, and so I can review the degree of the window. I mean, I can't make the call, but for me right now, I see that as a means of egress, dropping off the balcony, out of the window onto that balcony as getting down. And then from there to the bottom is also 14 feet. So that's where we are. What's the size of the windows? Are they double hung? Are they sliding?
It's double hung, but if you feel the casement need to be changed to be a casement, we can change it to casement window.
Okay, so you would be able to have a fully egressible window.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course, if there's your call, I'll definitely will apply for it.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. You're saying that the front facade, the windows on the first floor are existing, right? To remain.
Yeah, those existing.
Okay, so that's why you're matching the mullions on the second floor.
Yeah.
But you're not doing the same in the back because the back doesn't have those.
Yeah.
The windows don't have any mullions, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The back of
I
those
see.
windows is new. So all the window in the back are new.
It's new.
Yeah,
Ah,
so that this,
so the
this is,
only this
this is
existing.
existing. Yeah, so this
Uh-huh.
is existing.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. I see.
You know, I'm a little confused about one thing, which is, I thought on the cross section that the top of the house is flat. So as I'm looking at this side view, right? Is looking at the side view, which is proposed west elevation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Yes.
a peak. There's a peak, which
Mhm.
would correspond to from the front of the house to the back of the house, and then the
Ah,
pieces that are coming off in the front and the back are the dormers.
Dormers.
Yeah,
Dormer.
this,
Yeah.
Those are the dormers. So then in the cross section, if you could just go to the cross section again, I'm not sure I fully understood.
so this one is the existing of the house, which
Right.
is, this one is just,
No, not the existing, the new one,
I mean,
the new cross
The
section.
section.
the
The cross
session. So
section.
what we do is we trying to continue over here. If I go back to the
Yeah,
photo,
I wanted to see the roof of the
I
cross
know.
section, which I didn't understand.
Okay, so that's why when we are doing this is the west of elevation. So we continue from the first floor up. We bring the roof, this angles over here, which is, if you look at the photo, I'll show you, which is this one, this part. So we're going to continue this pattern going up. Does that make sense?
Could you just show the section?
Sure.
No, I'm confused about which direction the section was in. That's, you know, is it running front to back or running side to side? That's. There was a section, not elevation,
Yes.
there was a section.
Yes. Yeah.
Right
She
here?
just show it.
No, but
No.
that's the existing. There was,
Yeah.
you showed one that was a construction with a section. Am I, board, correct me if I'm wrong.
No. Keep. No. Yeah. Keep. Maybe you need to keep going down. Down, not up.
Going down.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it too. I mean, you just show it. Yeah, if you keep going down the drawings, keep going another page. Let's see. No,
Here? No.
You don't have another page?
There we are.
Yeah, there you go.
There,
Coming up.
go to your left. Right there, and if you go down a little further. So this is, yeah, there. So that is the front.
This is,
That's the ridge right
that's
there.
the
Okay.
rear.
That's the ridge we're seeing there. Okay. The dining room, the front of the house is which way? To the
Front
left,
house
to the right?
And it should be this way, but this elevation is taken from rear. That's why it's showing the kitchen and the dining room. If this one cutting off from the front, it's showing the dining, living room and the family room. But right now is bedroom and kitchen and the dining room. So it's then from the back.
So to the right is the back.
This is the back. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the ridge, that straight line across the top, that's the ridge.
This one here.
No, where it says 2x10 rafter at the top, that's the ridge.
Yeah, that's the ridge.
I understand. So somehow I thought it was sort of an even roof all the way around and somehow there was a flat.
No.
Okay. And then also I'm curious, right here, it shows, like if you look to the top left, where the roof meets the wall, there is an overhang that looks like it's, I don't know.
You mean this part?
There's an overhang there, but even on the left side, there's some overhang, but then on the elevations, it looks like it's just completely flush.
I did not follow it.
Okay.
Well, what I understand is because it requires 6 feet between the property line for the side yard. So on the second floor, we step in. That's why we have this step in. I don't know if this is answer your questions.
Not really. There's an overhang of the roof over the walls, correct?
Right there.
This one
Right, and also on the other side.
on this side, yeah.
Yeah, right. And now when you go to the elevations, it doesn't really look like that to me. It looks like it's just straight. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just
When we
curious
view
what's
it-
what.
So for the architectural, for the views purpose, so what we did is I show you in the drawing here. Let me see, proposed second floor. Yep, over here, which is we have this wall built up. You see, so when you look at the front of the property, we don't want that the second floor look something is coming in. We want what I'm trying to be doing is that when they look at the front, it look like this one doesn't step in. It just look like flat. They're very square, very bossy. But on the square footage wise, we do not use that because it's just a single wall here. The real building in between the spaces still keep it 6 feet, but this is just a wall here. The reason we're doing it is just trying to, when people look at the facade of the house from the first floor, because first floor is existing, there's nowhere I can take this one in to step in. So right now it's in between the property line is 4 feet. So on the second floor, we step into the 6 feet. If I don't build this a little bit, come up only the wall, it's just only simple wall. If I don't have this come up, and when you look at when you're standing in front of the building, you look like it's not even. That's why.
Yvonne, can you, maybe I'm not explaining myself well. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I do understand. Yes. Yeah, I think the drawing, the elevation is showing like everything is flush. And then when you go to this section, there is a lot of different things going on. It's not very clear. It's not very clear.
This is the rear. This is the elevation is taken from the rear and it's cut off in the middle. But this wall, when we're doing the elevation.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yes.
This wall doesn't
yes.
have a known space. It doesn't have flooring, but this 2 feet is just the wall. We're trying to continue.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, but we still think that, you see where the roof meets the wall, it's totally flush with everything. When you go back to the detail, to the section, there's a lot of
at the bottom.
A lot of detail. Yeah, if you go, at the section, you see the roof projects over the wall. There's more dimension. So what I think Andrew's trying to say, it doesn't really correlate, this section with the elevations in that sense.
But this elevation, this section here, it definitely.
That section.
Yeah, this section, the bottom section will be explained. I don't know if I'm explaining it good enough.
No, Ms. Zhang.
Yes.
We understand the setback of the second floor there. Okay, we understand that. But if you go back to the section, okay, if you go back to the section, okay, you have to go up a little bit.
Going up a little bit, yes, you're right.
On the left upper bedroom, okay, do you see how your roof has a small soffit that projects out from the vertical wall with your gutter, correct? And that is not straight with the wall. It sticks out from the wall, right? It's not flush. There's no, in your elevations, if you were to take the line of the exterior wall, it would go straight up. But that's not what it shows in your elevations. That's my question. You see, there's no soffit there.
So elevation, which is going to be rear, is this wall here.
Yeah.
But he's saying that the roof should, if this is the wall, the roof should come down and not be flush the way it's shown. It should be like this, as per your section.
It should project out.
So there's an inconsistency within the drawings is what he's asking about.
Okay.
If you look again at that, where the wall comes and you have your roof, if you look at my hands, they don't come together. All right? You're drawing them as if one is inset to the other. The elevations on top head as if the roof comes and meets the wall itself. That's the question.
This is the gutter here, right? Oh, okay. So the roof is coming up.
Yeah, it looks like it's at least 6 inches out from the wall, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't show that on the
chair
elevation.
board, you guys are doing a great job, and it's like a tag team to get to where we got to go. So the mansard roof does not depict the overhang. So on the side elevations, they're showing it, but they drew a single dimension on the front elevation and cut off the overhang.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm
I think
assuming
that's
that
the
is,
clearest way to say it. So
Yeah.
the mansard roof is coming down and it's not revealing the soffit underneath. So you're losing whatever the consistent value of the wraparound porch. That's what they're asking for. That's what's missing on the front and the rear elevation. The side elevations do depict it. It's not consistent from the right and left of the house, but that's what's missing. Also, the way that the 2.5 story doesn't have the projection of the second floor underneath showing an overhang. If you would go to your the structural members of the roof, if you can scroll down to that.
Okay.
Let's see if those match what you were doing. Okay, go up. So those are the floor joists in there. So here with on proposed roof framing 1, we do show, right? You see where it's actually depicting the wall assembly underneath. So the consistency of the home of the roof is actually being depicted here on their structural drawings, but not on the front and rear elevation. So it's showing that overhang wrapping around the home. Is you see that there's a slight box around the entire house. So that's showing the wall assembly on the 2.5 story, or excuse me, not the 2.5 story, the second story. So it's showing it on what the roof members are going to be, but it just doesn't have the front elevation and the rear elevation. But they have the structural design correct. They're just missing the soffit depicted on the front and rear elevation. So the idea is they're stuck on this, but they don't see it visually on the plan. So, if it's here structural, I don't see an issue with it. You're going to have to go back and, get a better rendering when you submit it to the building department, but at least structurally you're showing everything that needs to go up. There's no hanger detail, none of that stuff, that will all come later. But here in proposed roof framing plan 1, it's actually depicting what they're proposing. Thanks.
Andy, your microphone is not on.
my error. Just looking at this roof plan, Dennis, as you see the dormers, right? Are the dormers intersecting with the roof, with a curved roof? The dormers on the elevations are shown as having an arched roof, but it looks like, is that what we're seeing here? I guess so.
No,
I don't know.
no, I'm talking and muted. So yes, the dormers look peaked, but we don't know to what degree. So I have a lot of questions structurally. I mean, they're showing the 2x10s, they're showing all the members, but we're kind of missing in between for the flat roof. So if you go back to the front elevation, please. So, okay, we'll stay at the rear row elevation, right? So when we're looking at it, it's not drawn three-dimensional. We're just looking straight on at it. So we can't see what's happening. They have a rounded dormer that's there. Could it be thrown out later? That's all possible, you know, for the roof dimensions for the members. It's not showing that there's going to be it's not going to be carved out or any of that stuff. So that's more on the structural end of things that, you know, the building inspector is going to look for when they go out there. But as for, you know, how it shows that it's flat on top, I think that's consistent. But how far is the dormer sticking out? So if we go to the side elevation, it's sticking out for the length of the house. So what is that, proposed 7?
Proposed 7, go up. Right, you're going too fast. Keep going down. Right there.
Yep.
Proposed 7.
So proposed 7, they're showing that they're peaked. So, you know, the way that sorry, I just came out of my house. The way that it's showing that it's peaked on the design, on the structure, the way that the roofing material is not depicted. So the design professional, when placing the roof material, probably left out the peak of the roof, showing the front and rear elevation, only drawing it 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
So
Right,
that's where the flaw
confusing.
is. It's just that, so when they place the roofing material on the mansard, they lost that detail on the overlay.
Yeah.
But structurally on the 2 side elevations, it's showing it. It's just not depicting it on the front and rear again. And I don't know how many more times I'm going to say front and rear, but bear with me.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
So I'm just going to tell you my preference. And then and I'm willing to be outvoted by the board, but my preference is that the owner or designer bring the plans to the building department and let Dennis explain, because I don't think we're fully communicating our questions, and let it be represented in the next session with the soffits correctly drawn and the dormers correctly drawn. And I also have a question, because in the section, if you go down to the section again, I don't really understand what is how that portion where you have that setback where it says 6 feet, there has to be some roof there, because otherwise that's just collecting water there. So I don't fully understand that. No, not there.
That's right.
Down where
At the bottom. Yeah.
That would need some, as far as I could tell, that would need some roof treatment.
Yeah.
Is right, Yvonne?
Yes.
So
totally.
my
it's not resolved.
My proposal would be, and that we ask the owner to just correct the drawings to represent the soffit correctly in all the elevations, to address that corner right there, because it just doesn't seem right. And the dormers, are they peaked or are they curved? And if they're curved, we should see the side of the dormer on that elevation, not roof.
Okay.
Right?
I agree with you, Andrew. Then also the question is, even moving the wall back a little bit to comply with the 6 feet setback, would it, and this is a question to the building department, I guess, what happened with the wall being within those 6 feet? Because I mean, because it's an existing condition, maybe that's okay.
So if they were to keep the wall, I mean, for what I see is, if they were to keep the wall on the outside, they would need to get an area variance from the zoning board. But by jogging the wall in and keeping it within the setback, because it's a pre-existing non-conforming structure, with pulling that wall back, the addition would be conforming, so they wouldn't need to go to zoning, and the roof would count as an overhang, which the code allows.
Okay, got you. Thank you. Okay.
Dennis here. I hear you. Andy.
About that. There is a facade right because we don't see the step back from the front, right? So there is a, like a vertical, like I'm not even sure how you describe that, but anyway.
So that was the rear of the house, I believe.
That's the rear?
No, I think it's the side.
That's
Might
the
be the
side.
side. I don't know.
It's the side, right?
As
So
long as they determine
Yeah.
a front, we're all right.
Yeah.
it's the side over
it's the
here,
side.
number 5, right?
Yeah. yeah,
Proposed
correct.
elevation number 5,
That's
right?
my understanding.
But that's
Right,
rear.
so even though the wall going front to back is stepped back 6 feet, there is that vertical line that's staying less than 6 feet. So
Right.
I think just so that later there's no problem with the setbacks and everything, and just so we could approve it correctly, I propose that Ms. Zhang just go over it with Dennis, the questions, the specifics we have, and just resolve them for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yvonne?
I support
Agree.
you. I agree.
I agree.
Dennis, do you have time before you leave town?
Well, I leave town every day, thank God. But more or less the village. We're not in the town. One day maybe we'll rejoin again the town. But tomorrow, if you want to come in first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock, 9:30, we can do a very quick review and do an overlay. And you'll have a better understanding of what the board's asking for. So yeah, come in tomorrow morning first thing and we can work on it. No later than 11 o'clock.
Thank
Okay.
you, Dennis.
And actually, before we close on this, Larry, you do agree with that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone in the community, just so that the owner has the opportunity to hear if there's anyone in the community who wants to comment?
No hands raised.
Okay.
I want to comment
Okay.
something, if I
Okay.
may. So I've been listening from the beginning of the meeting. This is my first meeting. I'm a resident of Mansard, and I think that you guys are doing a great job. You're very thorough. You ask a lot of good questions, and just as outsider looking in, I think it's great. So
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank
No,
you.
and part of it is I don't want you to suffer anything later if it doesn't conform to what we approve. So that's why because I think there's some inconsistencies between what you want to do and exactly how it's represented on paper.
Okay.
Okay, so I
Yes,
think we're
totally
going to, we'll pass this off to the next session, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Okay. See you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
everyone
you.
for your
All
time.
right. Thank you.
See you, Dennis, tomorrow.
And that is the last project, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So can I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion.
Motion.
Okay, so we have, okay, and I vote yes, Larry's voting yes, so we could adjourn the public meeting.
Okay.